Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me. I'm back today with part 2 of the Simon Says Stamp October card kit. So jumping right into card number 6, I'm going to be using that frame die from Blueprints 32, and I'm going to use that on both that floral paper as well as a pink pinstripe paper. Then I'm again using the Spellbinders dies. These are the large label dies, and I'll trim the largest size out from that insulation pink and then the next size down from some Neenah white cardstock. I'm going to use the frame from that pretty floral patterns paper, and I'll place that directly on my card base. And then I'll place the pink pinstripe paper inside of that. I'm going to layer my white label on top of that insulation pink label. And then I'll place that on the top of my card base at an angle. Here I'm going to stamp the sentiment, "You're going to rock this," using Lawn Fawn Deep Sea ink. And that completes card number 6. For card number 7, I'm going to use the opposite pieces from those frames I had cut out on the last card. And here I'm using another piece of the die set from that Blueprints 32 from My Favorite Things. I'm going to create a pocket card. So what I've done there is I have cut out the pocket piece on the front of the panel, and then I've also trimmed out from one of the rose gold accents on the papers a topper for the card that's going to pull out of that pocket. There you can see the pocket cuts around the top, and then it just makes a score line at the bottom. So here I'm attaching that curved piece to the top of some insulation pink cardstock. And on that, I'm going then to stamp "Just Wanted to Say You're Amazing." And I'm again using that Lawn Fawn Deep Sea ink. Here I'm going to attach some score tape to create the pocket. So I'm going around the edges of my panel, and I'm just going to fill that in, leaving space there for my card to slide in and out of the center below that pocket. I am going to again use some score tape on the back of my frame. And I'll place that on the card front here. As I've worked with these frames, I've realized that it's much easier to just take one side at a time. So I'll leave the backing on and then peel that away as I attach the frame. Here I'm going to attach that center panel. Here I'll round the corners on the bottom of my card. And then I'm going to attach another one of those navy flowers using multi-matte medium at the bottom there. And that will complete card number 7. For card number 8, I wanted to again play around with the paper, so I've trimmed out some of the papers to various widths. I'm again using computer paper trimmed down to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm just going to create some random stripes there. I'm going to use that Blueprints 32 frame die to trim out a panel that's 3 3/4 by 5 inches. I'm also using the second largest Spellbinders label die, and that's just some plain Neenah white cardstock. On that, I'm going to stamp "Just Wanted to Say You're Amazing," and I'm going back to that pretty American Crafts blush pigment ink for that. I'll also then add that brushstroke heart stamp below the sentiment. I'm going to pop that label up on some foam tape. I've already attached my panel to my card base, and I'll just stick this on the center of the panel. And that will complete card number 8. For card number 9, I'm again using this MFT Blueprints 32 frame to trim out a panel that is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. I'm going to use some Versamark ink here to stamp the sentiment "You're going to rock this." I'm adding some Lawn Fawn Rose Gold embossing powder. And then I'm going to heat set that, and I'll pop the panel up with some foam tape. I've trimmed out one of the additional papers here to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. I'm going to lay that. That's going to cover the whole top of my card base. And then I'll place my panel in the center. And that will complete card number 9. For card number 10, I'm going to use this pretty navy polka dot paper, and I'm trimming that down to 4 by 5 1/4. Then I've got an extra strip left over from that pretty floral paper, and I've trimmed that to 1 1/4 inches. I'm going to stamp on some insulation pink cardstock using some Versamark ink, as well as that pretty navy embossing powder that came in the kit. I've heat set that, and now I'm trimming it down to about 3/4 inch. Here I'm going to attach my panel on top of the card base. And I've trimmed out a piece of the pretty rose gold from one of the papers, and I'm just going to layer that underneath my sentiment. I've trimmed that down, and I'm going to create a banner on one edge. Here I'll attach that strip of the pretty floral paper. I'll trim off the excess there, and then pop my sentiment up with some Scotch foam tape. And that will complete card number 10. Here's a quick look back at the cards we created today. Additional close-ups as well as a full list of supplies can be found at my blog post listed in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.